Tap your thing. Make sure you're on the right one this time.
I mean, it said, I read it very clearly before I got in. It said I read it 3 times.
It did not fly. You were
Oh.
good.
Oh. I mean, I didn't even do anything to say. I don't understand how the hell that day. It's not like I actually did anything right now different.
I
I don't know why it just decided to.
because it hates you.
I'm sure it does.
There we go. Any preliminaries, or should I hit the music?
Well,
We are live streaming,
okay.
just in case you were about to say something like really sensitive.
Well, no, it's just that next week I'm flying to Guyana.
Okay.
Coming back on Friday, but I don't know. No, we'll probably work out something on the weekend, but
Yeah,
I
if
am.
it starts turning south, just let me know.
Yeah. Well, I'm flying. I think I have, after so many different tests, and I'm suspecting that I have a hernia.
That's not good.
I am going to fly on Sunday to see a surgeon. The reason I'm flying on Sunday to see a surgeon is not because there aren't any surgeons around here. It's just because it will take a while to get an appointment. I realized this really yesterday after I went to the doctor on Wednesday. I worked out yesterday. I felt pain again. It got worse again. And then I actually was feeling around. I felt a little lump that I hadn't felt there before. And because hernias are a little bit like they pop out and come back in, all of a sudden I felt the lump. I'm like, oh, fuck. And so I called my brother, like he knows the surgeon very well there because, they're doctors. They have the office right beside each other. Yeah, I'm going to go over there because he went over to the surgeon guy. He's known for I don't know how long. And he said, hey, can you see my brother on Monday? Sure.
Okay.
And I'm like, for the price of, actually, it didn't even cost me $1 out of pocket because I have so many unused flight credits on American right now for whatever reason. I have thousands of dollars of unused airline tickets. Okay, that I just I have this ticket that I already paid for that I haven't used. So I just applied the credit and I didn't pay any money either to go. So it's not exactly seemed pretty simple to just hop, go on a plane on Sunday and then. Okay. Wait. Wait. Come back. Because I want Sam to hear you. Okay.
I heard
So,
it.
okay. So, okay. Do it again. What's that? What sound is that?
It's a dog panting.
Yeah. You know why?
The puppy.
Yeah. But why, buddy? Tell him on the microphone. Why? What sounds like that? The recording of what? What car?
Hyundai Ioniq 5.
Now, the sound of the Ionic 5 is permanently associated with the panting of your dog.
Oh, because he was panting when I took that video. Okay,
Yes!
Startup. Okay, I understand. Okay.
Okay? It is now. That's. He knows all the startup sounds how they sound, and then I said, what's Ionic 5?
I've been watching a few TikTok videos about how you can set up a shortcut to automatically play a sound whenever your car plays.
Ah! Damn it! Okay, you need to do that, and then send that to Manu. He'll love that.
Yeah, because I would have to get a good recording of
Yeah.
the dog.
Yeah.
And then set it up as the startup sound.
Yes. That sounds.
Or I could use the sound of you just now going yes.
Ah, okay.
Whenever I start my car.
There you go. Okay.
I mean, it already has that picture of me that you guys made.
Yes. So there you go. Now we'll just get, more sounds of us. Or I can record Manu sounding like panting like a dog, and then you can put that in there.
There you go. Okay. Shall we start?
Yes.
Here it goes. Welcome to Curmudgeon's Corner for Saturday, September 27th, 2025. It is just after 2 UTC as we're starting to record. I'm Zam Minter. There's my new name.
Zamboni.
I am Zam Minter. Yes, Zamboni Minter. And Yvonne Bo is with me. Hello, Yvonne.
Hi.
Once again, you sound tired. I'm tired. Everyone's tired all the time. There's just stuff.
It's like, I mean, every day, it feels like a bad news buffet.
I mean,
and there's no stopping it. Okay,
well, it's this like,
and I don't care what political inclination you have. I'm sorry, but who likes to go at 10:30 at night get messages that there's going to be a 25% tariff on trucks, right? Think about any of these people in the trucking business. Most of them, I'm sure a lot of them are probably conservative. And you hear that buying a new truck for your business is going to cost 25% more money. How the fuck is that making you feel better? Or that your sales of your soybeans have basically collapsed to zero. And then this government is going to bail out the government of another country that has basically taken away our sales of soybeans. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. Everything is just, every day, it's like...
Well, remember, I feel like it's even worse, but we talked about this over and over and over again during the first Trump administration.
But it's worse.
How it's just nonstop, everyday stuff. And some of it is, honestly, most of it is extremely worrying, but it comes in degrees. You have everything ranging from, oh, look, there's the destruction of more civil liberties, to, oh, he's paving over to Rose Garden, and everything in between.
And everything in between, right? I don't know. It's just...
we will get to our news.
Seriously, I'm really... so much about the Tylenol stuff. Just another thing.
Yes,
I'm really going through. I'm going through those like they're candy.
Oh yeah. Well, good thing you're not pregnant.
Right. Well, maybe I am. Maybe that's the problem. I didn't realize it. Okay, let's correct that because maybe you're pregnant. No, maybe Trump suggests, of course, idiotically, that it could be, the cause of. But no, there is no problem with taking Tylenol while you're pregnant.
Right. Except the usual problems with Tylenol that, people have been warning for a while.
Well, yes, if you take massive... Yeah, but you know what the massive amount is that could cause liver damage on a daily basis? I believe it's 10,000 milligrams or something like that.
It's something like
it's a ridiculous it's a ridiculous
like 7 times the prescribed dose or something.
Correct.
What it has been criticized for before is of all over-the-counter drugs, the difference between the prescribed dose and the harmful dose is the smallest.
Yeah, it's still, dude, 7 times the fucking amount.
You still have to take a lot of Tylenol.
You still have to be. I mean, you got to be chugging this like it's it's going out of you're going out of business. It's crazy.
I mean, and frankly, like, if you like down an entire bottle of Tylenol in an hour,
You're trying to kill yourself.
you know, I mean, they're not. Most drugs are problematic if you like are if your dose.
Everything is problematic in excess. Okay.
Right.
So.
But yeah, that's entirely different than what was being talked about this time.
Right.
And in fact, during pregnancy, it's one of the few painkillers that's actually recommended.
Right.
The others are more harmful.
Exactly.
Or are actually harmful.
Or could be harmful.
Yeah, anyway. So we will get to all of the newsy stuff later. I am as usual
Do we?
going to do a couple movies.
Do we need to?
Do we need to do news? We could do an all movie show.
I mean, there's something else we could talk about. I mean, I don't know, man.
Well,
it's so fucking exhausting with this shit.
There are a couple little things I was going to talk about, but
I'm trying to remember what the hell what did I want to talk about. I'm trying to fucking remember. I think I did make a note somewhere around here. Let me see. Hold on. See if I forgot anything I forgot. I thought I wanted to
scintillating listening here, Yvonne.
Oh, I know. I'm usually this is how we make people happy on our show by looking at how we decide how not to talk about shit. I don't know. What did I do this week? I worked a lot. My wife is working elections again. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things about that is that I've been basically just having to work and take care of everything at the same time. Mm-hmm. And most of the days it's not that bad. But what happened is that on Tuesday was a holiday for school.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden, I don't have the let me send my son to school. And that keeps me, I don't have to, I don't have to be taking care of him. Okay. So all of a sudden he was here all day. Mm-hmm. And then I regularly try to avoid calls after 4:00. I just try to. Okay. It's not.
Yeah. Right.
It's just, because at that time, it's after school and whatever. So I try to, most of the time, like today, I try to busy myself with other work that I got to stuff, handling presentations and other stuff or whatever. I just want to keep that time to that. But this week, I got flooded with post 4:00 calls. Okay.
Right.
And I'm like, and that's okay usually because my wife will be here, but she wasn't here. And my son has to do certain things after 4. Like I had to take him to his music class. I had to take him to music. I had to. Did you
Alex, just so you know, you completely cut out my audio, so I can't hear.
Can you hear me?
My phone for a second.
Can you hear me still?
It had anything to do with the phone as opposed to you bumping me, but
can you hear me?
Can you
hear me?
Audio right now. Hold on.
That's good. Oh, that's great.
And I have to
we're off to a roaring start here. Gosh.
Nothing.
I
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, Yvonne. I don't know exactly where you were.
Well, what I was saying is that, we usually like after 4, so I've got, my wife is here to take care of stuff. So, but all of a sudden I wind up with calls and taking care of my son at the same time. And like he had like music that I had to take him to, and then he had like his tutoring. And actually, usually it's like, hey, okay, just go to the computer and log on. But for some reason, they changed. The schedule got all mixed up. Okay, I forgot. Well, one thing is, I forgot one thing. We had moved one session to Tuesdays at 4. And so at first I said, Manu asked me, hey, so I have work? And I'm like, oh, no, you don't have any. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm getting texted by the person. Oh, shit, that's right. We shifted it to Tuesday at 4. So I have to go and like, dude, go. But I had a conference call starting at the same time. So I'm trying to mute myself over here. I'm chasing him over there. And then, and this happened on several days. Okay, this happened like, the next day, the tutoring session. One of them happened that they changed from like using FaceTime to Zoom. The link was not on the invite. We didn't get the invite. He's trying to log in. He can't log in. So I'm trying to like, hey, what is going on? Where is the link? But I had calls.
Right.
And so, like, my wife usually at that time. So I'm like, bouncing in both places. Like I was just running around like an idiot. And then
now, were these ones where you were just late to the call, or were you on the call and supposedly?
No, I had to be on the call. All of a sudden, I had to mute myself and just go running. I get on the computer and I can run back to the call.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that kind of call. So, yeah, that was like the stressful part. I'm fucking running from one room to the other room, and I'm like, So, yeah, and then, I had a doctor's appointment. I had picked this week also to have, listen, I scheduled this weeks and weeks ago, okay? So I had scheduled weeks and weeks ago where I was doing this thing to my car, okay? Where basically, the reason I'm doing this is because I was going to keep the car longer, okay? I decided to buy out the lease and keep my car, okay? And so I decided, no, I'm going to keep this car like I've done most of my other cars, at least 6-7 years, something like that, okay? I decided I'm going to do it with this one, okay? So one of the things I wanted to do is because I drive a lot on the highway, and so to protect the paint, they sold me on this thing. I've seen a lot of people do it. They put this paint protection film, which is this plastic that goes over, which by the way is very difficult to notice. Okay, it's not nearly invisible, but that it will protect against small impacts, rocks, stuff, so you won't get the paint damaged and whatever. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to do that. I'm going to keep the car longer. I like to take care of. I'm very anal about that stuff. So, and this makes it actually a lot easier to clean as well. Because what happens is that anything gets stuck on it, a surface, it's like super easy to clean as well. So it makes it cleaning it easier. It protects it. I'm like, okay, so great. I want to get this, okay, from this guy I know in town. And so, yeah, but I scheduled to drop off the car to do that this week, and my wife was working the elections, and then I had this doctor appointment, and then all the shit going on, and I'm just running around. Like, first I had to drop off the car. I had a rental car that I picked up. I pick up the rental car, go over here, go over there, go to the doctor, go to the. I was like a hockey puck, basically bouncing around the whole damn week. Okay, and working. Because I'm like the other day, I'm like, I'll go to this place for lunch. As I'm heading out, trying to get, I was actually going to try to see at 12. I wanted to see if I went to the doctor on Wednesday. I wanted to see if the pain I had is still there. So I'm going to try to work out a little bit at 12. So to go over there, I'll do it. I'll leave the house like at 11:30. I was going to leave a little bit earlier. I mean, usually I leave a little later, but I was going to leave it earlier. So at the moment I'm leaving, I get a call about a deal, and so all of a sudden I'm like, I wound up getting there late because I'm talking on the phone about a deal. Okay, all right, and I'm like, damn it! Of course they called me right now. This couldn't have waited. And so I'm going over there. I'm talking I'm negotiating a deal. I'm running back after quickly because I really was going to go a short amount of time, like half an hour. I cut out after half an hour to come back, do work, eat lunch, make lunch, clean, whatever. I'm just, I was just, this is, it's crazy. I don't understand. I swear to God. Well, I do understand a little bit. I have a friend of mine who's a single mom. And let me tell you something. Okay? She, if her head wasn't attached, I'm sure she would forget it. Because that's what happens when you've got a job, you've got the kid, you got the thing, you got the whatever. I mean, it's nuts. You know, all the shit that you have to do. I mean, single parents have it the worst. I mean, of all. And look, two parents that work. I mean, even that's still a fucking complicated shit show. Okay, all right. I mean, who the hell can pick up the kid to school if we both are working or whatever? You got to shift, you got to do. It's like, it's a madhouse. And especially with me decided to do something that was really optional, but I put it in this week, and then I had to go to the doctor. And then that, you know, at that complication, which I had that scheduled for weeks. So yes, it's Friday. I'm fucking tired. The whole week has been a steady stream of shitty news. Okay? Pick the topic. Any positive news that came from this administration this week. Seriously, what is there a positive? What can you tell me a positive? Anything? Let's see. Can we say that the Trump administration did anything positive? I mean, they went and they insulted the whole world on a stage. That was one thing they did. Basically, pissed off everybody. What I mean, I don't know. Is there anything? Is there anything? Is there any? But I'm like, what positive things?
Have they done anything positive since January? No.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel was back on TV, so that's light and frothy.
They didn't do that.
That's sort of something that, yeah, they didn't do that. Right, they wanted to keep him off the air.
Anyway, let me move on to my things. I'm going to give up one of my two movies so I can mention another thing I did this week. And then I'll do one. So,
okay.
This is... I started seeing this on Facebook. And I mentioned it to Yvonne offline that I was going to do this. But it turns out in my county, somebody started sort of a local podcasting network thing.
And Sam tells me I'm going to a networking event, and I thought that, man, is there a meteor about to hit the Earth or something? Because if there's somebody that I've never heard that wants to voluntarily participate in such a kind of an event, it's Sam Minter right here.
Exactly. Like I voluntarily going to any sort of social event where I don't already know the people involved. Hell, even if I do know the people involved, I have to be dragged there most of the time.
Basically, yeah.
You know, but you know, I saw this the posted by there's a friend of my wife's who also has a podcast that I'll mention in a few minutes, but and she posted this stuff, and I first saw something about it like a month ago, and they were having an event, but I couldn't make it. But then when it came around and it was like they were going to do another something, I'm like, okay, let me check it out. I'll do this because it's called the Snohomish Podcast Network. It's just like a local thing. We're in Snohomish County. If you look at the podcasts that they have that are involved, most of them have some sort of local angle to them. In terms of being about something that relates to the local community. Not all of them, though. They've only got, I shouldn't say only. They've just started out. And they've got what? 6, 7. I was just looking at the thing. It looks like it started out with 8. um, 8 podcasts, and even that, I was like, there are 8 podcasts based in this county, you know.
Well,
'Cause
I mean, I don't know. There's so many podcasts.
I
You
know,
know
I
what?
know they're
Listen, but
everywhere,
listen. The other, no, listen.
here's the thing:
Wait, wait.
I had done some searches like years ago for like podcasts about the county or the towns around here, and I found a few, but most of them have subsequently gone defunct. These are not. Yeah, some of these are about the county, some of them are not. Like I said, but you're right. There are just so many right now.
Sam,
And
the other listen,
let me give you
and
a
this,
number.
but
Let me
listen,
give you
listen.
numbers because
Before
I've
you
been
go
tracking
to,
this now.
okay, go to numbers. Go make a comment.
Okay, because I have another project I've been doing that one of the side effects is tracking this. Of course, my page where I have this is like not loading right now, so I have to find it from another source. Hold on. I have to bring it up manually because my stupid thing is like dying on me. Here we go. Da 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 da. Okay, so in the last week, 251,284 podcasts updated.
Wow, that's a lot.
And over the course of the last year, updated 4.58 million. Or if I round properly, sorry, 4.59 million, rounding. There are a lot of podcasts out there. That's like, all kinds of different
Listen, there are so many
languages.
podcasts right now that
Yeah.
on this show that I listen to, there's also a podcast. They are making a little game show for guests, real or fake podcast. Okay, where they make these names up of like podcasts based on some personalities or whatever, and they try to see if you believe the podcast is real or fake. And let me tell you something, they've gotten me, they've gotten everybody, because some of them sound so ridiculous that you're like, no, come on, that can't be a contest. Oh yes, it is a real podcast. This guy, I'm like, what the hell? It's like, just take any name of anybody, like, I don't know, and then just make some funny, like, name out of it. Give me some real
Like,
podcast
because
names.
here's the thing, like my little project, which isn't ready for prime time yet, but I've been working on. The notion is exploring that long tail of podcasts, right? Because there's thousands of podcast directories practically where you can go and see all the popular ones, right? And you can even search by topic and things like that, but they're all ranked by popular, and I'm like, okay, there are a lot of small podcasts out there too,
Sure.
like ours,
Yeah.
but how do you find them,
Right.
So my basic idea of the little site I'm building is, pick like some categories, like you want it to be in English, you want it to have been updated recently, pick a topic, things like that, and then actually show you a random selection of podcasts that meet that criteria, not ranked by popularity, just pick randomly. Now, I haven't built the things that let you filter by topic yet, but here are just 10 random podcasts in English.
Okay.
So I've gone from the 251,000 podcasts overall to 177,000 in English that were updated. And here's 10 random ones. 3 pastors walk into a bar by the Athol Baptist Church,
Okay.
which is discussions between 3 pastors and a variety of guests on ranging from theological leaders to philosophical thought contributors. So that's one. Round Springfield, that is a Simpsons adjacent podcast where they interview writers, directors, showrunners, and voice actors from The Simpsons.
Okay.
That's actually, it looks like it's actually done by it's related to Maximum Fun Networks, which is a real network. Then we have Gutter Studies by Tom. It's the
Gutter
audio feed for
Studies.
Gutter Studies, a video essay project exploring the pleasure, history, and meaning of low cinema.
I thought maybe this was some guy that
About
actually
Chuck.
installed. Yeah,
Well, the other Curmudgeon's Corner podcast, the one
is
that's
about.
on YouTube, is done by people who run an auto detailing business.
Ah,
They talk about other things, but they also talk about auto detailing.
it's almost like what's the name from NPR? Oh God,
Car Talk,
yeah.
which has been defunct for a while. But yes, I
But they still play
replay
the
old
reruns.
episodes. I know they play the reruns.
I mean, not just the guys. Both of them dead? No, one of them is
Or
dead. One
both
of them died.
One of them.
No. One of them. I didn't think both of them were dead, but
Yes. Anyway, Close to the Edge by Lifestyles 55 Podcasts, with your host Byron Capon, is a show for late boomers, old punks, Gen Xers, and anyone else who likes their music with an edge. Voices from the Bench. Oh, here's good. Here's a good one. A weekly podcast dedicated to the dental laboratory industry, featuring anyone associated with the profession from all over the world.
that sounds scintillating.
Pisces Astrology Bites, daily horoscopes with Luna Vega.
Okay, a lot of people like horoscopes.
Bourbon Matters, a podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it.
You see, these are good names to mix into that game show I told you, real or fake.
Right.
You see,
well, these are all real.
Those are all real, but you can see how that show would work, where you just mix in, other names you made up, and it's whether this podcast is real or fake. The reality is, it's just so many of them, it's just ridiculous.
I got 3 more of these, and then I'm going to go back to talking about the local podcast network. What Goes Bump in the Night by Trevor and Riley. Our names are Trevor and Riley. We are from West Michigan, and we are best friends who have had a love for the things that go bump in the night for years. After many years talking about doing a podcast, we're finally about going out and investigating the paranormal ourselves. We finally did it. So,
well, we're not investigating the paranormal, that's for sure.
The Haunted Attraction Network, Countdown to Halloween with our 61-day Hauntathon. And then finally, Spiral, a Bitcoin newsletter, now in audio. So there's my 10 random ones.
Okay, but all right. You found all these podcasts, and there were so many podcasts in your county and whatnot.
Yeah. So
what? Well, who did you meet? What did they do?
Yeah. So I went to the first thing. I've actually gone to 2 things now with them. The first one was just like a social mixer type of thing, to just get to know people, blah blah blah, and met a few folks, and let's see if I can remember. I met Tony from the Crush Your Social podcast, which is about like optimizing social media for businesses and stuff like that. I met Sheila from the Snohomish Storytellers. So that's stories about things from Snohomish County. Who else did I meet? I'll talk about that one in a minute. There was somebody who I'm not sure he's in this officially yet, but I met somebody who does a podcast on RVing in the Pacific Northwest. It's called RV Out West. There's another storytelling podcast. Well, I didn't meet all these folks, so I'm talking about the ones but then chatted for a few hours, with a few of these folks. Talked a little bit about podcasting, talked a little bit about other stuff, just whatever. And then I went to a second meeting that was more sort of a business meeting. Like, what do we want the network to do? Blah blah blah. And so they're trying to do some cool stuff. Like they've got some services for, it's being run by someone who does like podcast production services and stuff like that. and so they're doing some hosting and some analytics and helping people out with production, and that's some other things they're doing. But they're talking about doing some cross promotion stuff, and basically helping each other out with a few things. Anyway, I thought it was cool. I joined up. So this is just a heads up to the listeners. I may do some more cross promotion of some of these folks, mentioning them, or them mentioning us, things like that. Now, these are all fairly small podcasts, like us. There's no like big, huge, like, oh my God, there's somebody who's famous and getting millions of views and listens and making a living off their podcast exclusively and things like that.
For all we know, somebody is taking our podcast and probably mashing up the sound and using it as white noise to make people sleep and making millions of dollars that we don't know.
We are the source of the White Noise podcast.
Yeah.
It's really us all along.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But bottom line, it was cool. It was cool to like meet people and talk to them and get the one other one I will mention because I think it's the most like us. It was also a member. They were at the second meeting, but not the first, and who also is the person who my wife knew anyway, is one of the co-hosts, is a podcast called Sir. And I'll call them out specifically because of all of these 8 podcasts, it's the one that's most aligned with Curmudgeon's Corner. Because they are also a podcast that talks about news and current events and politics and all this kind of stuff. And it's basically, the way I described it to Yvonne, it's like a female version of us.
You described it to me? When did you describe it to me? Did I miss a meeting?
To it. No, you did not miss it. You actually responded to it. It's in Slack.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay, yeah. I just remembered that. Yeah, you had that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's and basically it's 2 women chatting about the same kinds of things we chat about. Some other stuff. They're actually slightly more produced. They were doing like video from the beginning, I guess, and they very frequently. I've listened to a few of their episodes.
From the beginning. When did they start? Could I ask?
They have not been going like
30, right.
40, 50 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, when we started, for God's sakes, we were on frickin' radio, for God's sakes. The idea of a podcast didn't fucking exist. We used Skype for I don't know how fucking long. So, yeah,
we used the 2 cans with the string in between.
Basically, yeah, it's pretty close.
They haven't been going that long, but they do... They routinely drop in like the audio clips of the current news to react to, and we only occasionally do that. We have that.
Come on, that's a lot of fucking
preparation.
Work, organization. Come on, man. Oh yeah, I just talked about my fucking week.
I know.
Listen. Let's see. And after this week, by the way, I'm flying on Sunday to Texas to go meet a doctor on Monday. Then I will fly back from Texas and get back here at 1 in the morning. Well, the flight gets at 1 in the morning, so I'll get home 2:30 in the morning to work on Tuesday, okay? And then on Wednesday, I'm flying to Guyana. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I don't have to. You want me to have audio clips prepared for shit? What the fuck am I doing? Listen, unless my stock, goes, multiplies another 10x or something at this point, okay? So, and then at that point, I'll hire a fucking producer. But until then, right now, you're stuck with us, pantomiming sounds of shit, like right now. I could go, like, maybe start, like, reading shit, maybe.
Look, I was telling, first of all, the co-hosts of the Sir thing are Emily and Sammy. So I think they have a Sam too, Samie. I think it's Sammy. But anyway, not them, but I was talking to someone else there at one of the social things, and they asked, like, first of all, they asked how you started in 2007. What's that? 18 years. We've been doing this 18 years and 3 months. We've been doing this podcast. Okay, did I do the math right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Listen, different podcast. I'm certain, and listen, I'm not ragging on you. I'm just teasing. It's in 2023. Okay, all right. Look, I mean, listen, you guys have, yeah. I mean, when we did this, okay, the technology was so bad. And they need to go, we need to replay our first couple of episodes for people to listen to how bad it was. They're very short, in large part because multiple times we recorded everything, and then we lost everything we recorded, and then we have to do it again.
Yeah, well, they're all available on curmudgeon-corner.com. You can go back there and listen to our early episodes. The descriptions are all messed up. They're not, good. But anyway, you can go see the archives. But no, I was talking to this other woman there. And, first of all, she asked, how can you possibly have done this for 18 years? We struggled to keep up the momentum to, you know what
I'm going to say? I'm going to go with the news this week. Probably our parents took a lot of Tylenol when we were pregnant.
Well, my answer directly. She asked, I said, autism. That was my answer.
That's it, basically. No other explanation.
It's absolutely. That is how I can keep up a pattern like this for 18 years. That 100%. And, and
the hell else? No other fucking reason. Hell, I struggle at it, to do it. But, yeah.
And the other thing when they asked, a few more details, I said, look, one of the things is, I went through a period where we were doing more than we do.
Oh yeah.
There's some stuff technologically we're live streaming now. We didn't do that before, but that was one click. Once we were on Riverside, there was one click to do that, right? But there was a period of time where I was spending half my weekend editing episodes.
Yeah.
And making sure it sounded right and I told him I've never done the thing where we record 2 hours and I pick the best half hour. I don't do that kind of stuff. We've never scripted it. We don't do that kind of stuff. I tried a couple scripted episodes once on weeks you weren't here. I didn't like it. I didn't like doing that. I tried writing it out in advance, and I wouldn't stick to the script either. I'd start with the script and then I'd deviate as I went.
Basically, we can't put you on a teleprompter.
Yeah, no. I mean, I mostly stick with the script. But anyway, no. The other thing was, at a certain point, I decided, look, I don't need all that stuff. There was one time where I specifically made some changes that dramatically reduced the amount of time I had to spend. And then for the next 4 weeks on the podcast, I asked a question every week. Did anybody notice a difference? Nobody noticed the difference.
And I mean, we did do some period where we've done some promotions. We've gotten some bursts of people coming in and so forth. But you know what? For the last number of years, we really haven't really been doing any promotions or trying.
No, I handed out business cards at these events for the podcast, and that's the most I've done in half a decade at least.
Right.
Maybe more. And, but the thing is, I think also at a certain point, I switched, there was a point I was like, okay, let's grow this and let's try to get some people. And then I was like, let's just have fun.
Yeah. Listen, if for some reason, listen, folks out there, if for some reason you find us scintillating and you want to offer us a multi-million-dollar, multi-year contract to do this for a living, we're all over it. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, no problem. Okay, but unless somebody's coming in with that kind of an offer at the door, I'm like, we'll just stick with having fun with this.
Yeah, we make $25 a month from the Patreon,
yep,
which is incredible. Thank you for all our patrons.
Yes.
But it's not exactly replacing my income anytime soon. And, that's fine. We have fun with it, And would I like to have more folks? Yes. But I'm not going to kill myself over it. I'm not going to, fundamentally change what we do.
But you know what? Listen, for all this, sometimes we think about nobody's listening, whatever. I always keep being surprised by people who hear and like hearing comments of people like all of a sudden contact me and tell me, "Oh yeah, I listened to this, listen to that." I always, always catches me off guard. I'm like, "Oh really?"
But anyway, at the same time, I had a blast talking to these folks, and they're doing some interesting stuff, and I'm like, sure, I'll do some cross promotion, no problem. I've mentioned a couple of the podcasts. Let's see. Let me see if I can read these. Crush Your Social.
Okay, looking at. By the way, looking. I didn't look at this at that closely, but
Yeah.
were these people a lot younger than you and me? It seems like it though, because I'm looking at the two ladies on Sir podcast, and I think we could be their parents.
I did not ask their ages, but I do not think they are. I don't think we could be their parents. They could be our younger siblings, perhaps.
Like a lot younger siblings.
I don't know.
You're not sure?
Yvonne, I'm 33. I don't know how old you think you are.
Oh, you're 33. Oh, I see. Oh, well, I didn't realize that. Okay. Well, now that you cleared that up.
No. There was a range of ages represented at this thing.
Okay.
I was trying to read all the names of the podcasts. Storytelling. Crush Your Social. Storytelling in a Small Town. At Homish. Sir. Snohomish Storytellers. Soul Filler Diaries. And Market Maven Podcast were their founding members, and now we're in there too. And anyway, it was fun, and I think they're. I told them I'm willing to help out some, and if we do some cross promotion, that's cool. And happy to do sort of little reads and whatever, and and I certainly am happy to do like the just networking and.
Okay, I just checked on this. Yeah, we would be we would be like we could be very, very, very young parents. Or we are, yes, I'm already on one. We could be their very, very young parents. But if we were related, they would be like the oops child. Like, it's the difference like between you and your sister.
19-year age difference.
It's not like yeah, like that. Yeah, that's the gap that we've got.
They could be our younger siblings.
Yeah, like the ones that we were in college while they were they were like bored kind of a thing. Yes.
Yes. So.
We are so fucking old. But let me tell you something. Obviously, the effects of all this Tylenol, I've gotten to be. The other day, I go and I'm like, I got my niece the other day. I'm trying to help her with papers for like our citizenship applications. And man, I don't know. Is it just that I'm like, okay, we need to scan these documents. Scan? How do you scan? I'm like, fuck me. What the hell, man? It's just very bright, but I realized that I noticed that. Well, I guess scanning. I guess I realized that's passe, right? Obviously, it's very passe. Yes, people like take pictures of stuff, I guess, and whatever. But the one thing is that you and me, and look, a lot of people our age are technologically inept. But you and me have been around the block on technology way too many damn times. And so it's still like sometimes I'm still get surprised how I'm still around people and I'm expecting, because tech is so ingrained into shit right now where everybody is like, my wife is taking this art class. She's going to Florida Atlantic University. She's actually going to university right now, which I must admit I'm a little bit jealous about the fact she's going twice a week, being able to be at school a little bit like right now. Well, one of the things is that, how they're using like iPads and things and drawing and stuff and all this tech in the classroom itself, which of course we didn't do that back then, but I'm like,
We had what was that class where they taught you how to use a mouse and stuff?
The computer skills workshop.
Yes.
Yeah, we had that.
Log in. Assignment 1. Assignment 2. Send an email.
Send an email, create a Word document, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but our brother, but we have always been, especially for our generation, at the cutting edge of a lot of this shit. It comes from our education. It comes from our background. It comes from our stuff. We went to a tech school, and so we're doing this shit. I had somebody I know that worked with me at HP, who basically is just asking me so many basic questions about some of the stuff. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You don't know anything. How? Do any people know anything? And I realize, yeah, they don't. But that's okay.
Well, I've heard some discussion around how the youngest generation is actually much more computer illiterate than, the millennials.
Because they're using just their phones.
Well, because it's so ingrained now that of the culture as a user who doesn't have to understand it. Whereas, like, for a certain period of time to effectively use the technology,
you have to really know. You have to really understand.
Get into the weeds. Now
we're building. Building a computer wasn't like in the 90s. It's still in the 2000s. It wasn't something that was like only nerds would do or something in a garage like in the 70s. Okay, this was something that a lot of people, kind of like mainstream, would build. Computers, okay? And you'd order the parts, you put them together because that was the best way to get the best deal. It was cheaper, yeah. Get more performance, better price, people would do that, but I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know. Nobody builds a fucking computer anymore. I'm sure there are people that do, but that's not. Yeah.
Anyway, we've taken long enough on this. I'm going to skip both of my movies. I will give. The network, it's snahomishpodcast.com if anyone wants to check it out. But, it's cool. It does have a local twist, though. It's like, which is different. Like, I've occasionally poked around at, like, sort of, should I go to a national podcast convention or something? Would it be cool to do that? This has the advantage. It's, like, small, and it's local people.
What are we going to do at the national podcast convention? What the fuck are we going to do?
We'll take over.
We will.
We'll take over. We'll hand out our business cards. We'll become massively famous. We will become the next Joe Rogan. They want a Joe Rogan of the left. It's us. It's clearly us, right?
Fuck me. I don't want to be that famous. That would be kind of annoying.
You don't get harassed by the paparazzi every time you leave your front door?
Thank God, no. The Joe Rogan. The fucking loser. Yes. I noticed there was an article I was reading this week about people like, Joe Rogan has this, like, look to him. And that, I don't know, there is this thing about this look, this muscular look, but it's beyond the muscular. Where there, I mean, I don't know. There is this. I don't. What word should I use? There's this stupid fuckhead male testosterone look that these guys tend towards.
Okay. Yes.
And that apparently there are like these plastic surgeons that cater to that, and that there's a lot of people now, like in the younger generation, that are trying to achieve this look and like this kind of thing. And I was just like, oh God, for God's sakes, man, you want to look like a fucking, drug enhanced, steroid enhanced asshole. This is what you guys want to copy. The fuck?
Okay, I'm trying to end the segment here.
You're trying to end the segment on a happy note. Can we do a happy note? And well, you said the cross promotion, cross promote something.
Check out Sir. Check out Sir. It's a good podcast. I've only listened to a handful of episodes, but I've enjoyed every one I've listened to. It's fun.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I will be listening to more, I'm sure. And they know about us now, so they might be checking this out.
Oh fuck. Well, I hope I didn't embarrass us now.
So, well, you spent some time talking about how young they looked. So
Well, yes!
they probably like that, right?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Probably.
But again, you're the old one. I'm 33.
Yeah.
The sir women are probably teenagers. So
I'm turning. Yeah. I'm the old guy. I'm turning 55 in how many months now? So 26th September. So we got 2, 4. Shit, it's 4 months in a few days. That's
there you
it.
go. Yeah.
Am I doing this math right? Yeah. Shit. Jesus fucking Christ.
Right. And again, it's nohomishpodcast.com. We're done with that. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk newsy stuff. Newsy news. Oh, and I should mention the 2 movies that got preempted. Dark Days from 2000 and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse from 2023.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. I don't understand the entire Spider-Man world of movies.
Right.
It's so confusing.
Okay. Can we take that break now?
Yes.
Here we go. You're listening to this podcast. Do you like it?
No!
Do you want to support the show?
No!
Well, after you have subscribed to the show, followed us on Facebook, and told all your friends they should be listening to, what else can you do?
I won't subscribe!
You can help fund our Patreon at patreon.com/Curmudgeon's Corner. Patreon is a way you can throw us a few bucks a month to help out with the expenses of the show. You know, web hosting, equipment, a little bit of advertising to promote the show, and maybe every once in a while some much needed sedatives for Yvonne. At different contribution levels, you can get a mention on the show, our Curmudgeon's Corner postcard, or even a Curmudgeon's Corner mug. Fun stuff.
Not fun!
In any case, the contributions help tell us that you enjoy and appreciate the show.
I really hate Curmudgeon's Corner!
Are we worth $1 a month?
No!
$5 a month?
No!
Or if you were nuts about us, maybe even more.
100 billion dollars, even though you don't have anywhere near $1 billion.
If we're worth anything to you at all, send it our way at patreon.com/Curmudgeon's Corner.
Alex hates, really hates Curmudgeon's Corner! That's really mean, isn't it? But I hate Curmudgeon's Corner, but I really do!
Okay.
He really does hate Curmudgeon's Corner, but anyway.
He does. He's under my desk right now, protesting as we're recording. One more thing. Since I mentioned that site with the random podcast, even though it's not done yet, the only thing you can filter by is the time it was updated and the language, and it doesn't have built-in players yet, and I haven't built any of that stuff yet.
But you can go to iTunes and other places. And there's...
Well, no, I'm talking about my random thing.
The random...
For all the podcasts I mentioned, you can look them up in your podcast player of choice.
Yes.
Okay. For my thing, it's jukepodder.com. JUKEPODDER.com. Right now, all it is pick a language, pick how recently it needed to be updated, and see random podcasts from that. It's a little slow, too. I haven't optimized it for speed yet. But the next thing I want to do is let you filter by topic and add little players. And there's some other things I want to do, but it is what it is. You can see some funny podcasts. You can see what's out there. If you want to go check out, Bulgarian podcasts instead of English, you can do that. All kinds of stuff like that.
The old good old Bulgarian podcasts. I know.
I would read you some
I know that
random Bulgarian podcasts, but I don't know Bulgarian.
You know, I got my best friend from HP, her husband, they're from Bulgaria, so they actually visit pretty regularly. So there you go. Probably get him to translate.
Here's a quick quiz, because I know you really don't want to get into the newsy stuff, so I'm giving you more opportunity to
Thank fucking God.
The most common podcast language is English.
Okay.
Guess at number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Spanish, number 2.
Yes, Spanish is number 2.
I'm gonna go with Portuguese.
Yes, Portuguese is number 3.
Okay.
Are you looking at my website?
No. I swear to God. No. I have no idea.
The drop down.
No. Let's see, what would be 4th? Man, it's got to be French.
French is number 5.
So I wonder what's it for. Italian? No.
Italian is 7.
Yeah, no. Chinese?
8. Chinese is number 8.
What am I?
You give up?
French, Spanish, English. Yeah, I give up. What's 4th?
Indonesian.
Ah, yes, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, the top 10.
Shit, what I did? Listen. I don't
good.
have.
You did pretty good.
I knocked off 1, 2, and 3.
You did pretty good. Now, actually, no. Number 4 in my ranking is actually unspecified. There are a whole bunch of podcasts where they didn't actually bother to put down the language. Most of them are English, but
okay.
But English, Spanish, Portuguese, Indonesian, French, German, Italian, Chinese, Russian, Japanese. I think that rounds out the top 10.
There you go.
So, okay. I guess there's no more avoiding. It's time for newsy stuff. Where would you like to start, Yvonne? There's lots happened this week, as we alluded to.
I don't know. Right, like this. Oh, this is very scintillating podcasting, as you're all aware. At this point, me basically just over here filibustering. Let's talk about the Comey indictment.
Oh, yes, Comey. So yes, this is one of the things in our annual prediction show. I said there'll be investigations, but he probably won't get around to indictments this year. I thought we'd get some in 2026, but I didn't think we'd already have indictments now. But the Trump administration has been speed running everything. Their whole notion is do as much as they can, as quick as they can, and apparently, I talked last week about the guy they fired / made quit, whatever, because he was like, I'm not going to indict him. Well, at the time, I was thinking it was mainly the what's her name from New York, because that was part of it too. He was like, I'm not indicting this because there's no evidence. It's not there. And apparently, it was not just Tish James. It was not just Tish James. It was also Comey, and Comey had this statute of limitations that was running out next week.
Right.
Just a few days from now, I believe.
In a few days. Yeah.
On Tuesday.
It was in September, so it must be at the end of the month. Yeah.
Yeah, and so fired him, brought on somebody who had no worries about the fact that there's not enough evidence to convict, and quite possibly no crime at all anyway. And so they indicted him.
Look, I shared today a summary from this guy on Midas Touch that does their legal analysis. I think it's Legal AF. And he went through actually
another podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Good fun podcast to listen to. I've done it a few times.
And, he went through the indictment itself, how this thing was so sloppy. It was just, I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but this thing was just...
I read the whole thing. It was 2 pages long.
It was 2 pages long. It was sloppy as all can be.
And there were errors.
There were errors.
There were errors in the third charge that the grand jury didn't go to as well.
Yeah, there were errors.
They apparently,
but he actually also went
weren't the same.
Right. And that, but aside from that, he actually went through what the charges were and then the testimony that supposedly was the criminal offense, which say, Avi, look, his analysis is this. I know that Comey said that he wanted to go to trial.
Yeah.
But he is like, look, I don't understand how this gets even past the... How this doesn't get dismissed out of hand. It's a joke. It's a joke. The damn indictment is a complete joke. There is just nothing out of nothing.
Well, one of the things that we got spoiled with, the special counsel and everybody going after Donald Trump, because they would submit like multi-hundred-page indictments. I mean, I'm exaggerating slightly.
Not really.
Well, some of them were over 100, some of them were in the 70s, 80s, whatever. But they were detailed, what they call speaking indictments, where they don't just give, we're going to charge them under this statute and this statute, but instead they lay out the case.
Right.
There was none of that.
No.
They're just...
Well, there was... I mean, there's the bare minimum where they mentioned what it is, and he went through that part. The guy on Legal AF, he went through that part, and it was just... I mean, you could watch... it was very helpful because he played the videos of exactly the testimony we're talking about, and it's just like... Look, James Comey, I think is he by training an attorney? I don't remember. But if he isn't an attorney, he certainly is like myself, who isn't an attorney, but has been in enough legal proceedings to know how to correctly answer questions in legal forms.
Yes,
okay?
He's an attorney.
Yeah, okay. I thought he was an attorney, but I was just making sure. To know how to correctly answer questions in forums like this, okay? And the answers that he gave, were they avoided any of the pitfalls that you can wind up in such answers that could get you into legal trouble. Okay? One of them, if I remember correctly, was specifically about a recollection that he had versus Andrew McCabe had related to certain information that wound up in the newspapers. Okay? And, he was being asked the question.
The question was about whether or not he authorized anybody to be a source to the press.
But the question was beyond that. The question was, like, for example, he was asking him if Andrew McCabe lied, if he said, and he very clearly said, you know what? I'm not characterizing. I'm not characterizing. I stand by my own testimony of what I said. It's very simple. And what I testify, he was very careful in his answers.
Well, this also, it was characterized as either McCabe is lying or he is lying. But there was an Inspector General's report that dug deeply into this exact question and determined, it was McCabe who was lying. And Comey was probably telling the truth. Now, one of the things here is because this wasn't a speaking indictment,
but what he did is that he didn't go into the pitfall of going and like answering that about the other person and identifying. He just stuck to. He talked about I'm answering about me, and this is what I said, and what I said before stands.
Yes.
Period.
The other part of this, theoretically, like maybe they have some other evidence because they did not have to disclose it. Maybe they had some direct evidence that something he said there was incorrect.
Sam,
Whatever. But
even incorrect is not illegal.
Let me finish this. It doesn't matter, because also one of the requirements of the law is that the question that assume he lied, it has to be relevant to the proceedings he was part of, and it was not, because the hearings that he was part of it was a different topic, than the one he was answering about McCabe. So there's all kinds of problems with this, and I've heard a number of people comment that, this is all they got. I mean, what they really want, what Trump really wants. And like you hear a bunch of these conservative commenters talking about how evil Comey is and how he's a criminal and he needs to go to jail, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that they're all worked up about is not what he was just charged on. They want to nail him for doing the whole Russia investigation. That's what Trump wants to get back at him for. But, they don't have anything on that.
They don't have anything. They don't have anything.
The whole Durham investigation dug into that for years as well and found jack. It found a couple of low-level things that he couldn't get through. Like, even when he did indict people, it didn't stick. Like, they were acquitted.
Sam, here's the problem that happens when criminals are trying to investigate other people. Okay? Criminals always think that everybody else is just as crooked as they are. Well, and so when you dig into their shit, you are going to find exactly. They're going to find all these crimes, and they get really, really angry. Like Trump is getting really angry when he goes and he sends out his minions to find all this evidence of all their criminal shit, and it's like, well, we can't find anything, Donald. We can't
imagine the idea that somebody might not be cheating.
Right.
That somebody might actually be trying to play by the rules. That someone actually cares about, like, doing the right thing.
And like I said before, and actually the guy at Legal AF as well, and some other people said same thing as I did. I'm like, look, I'm not a James Comey fan. I'm not a guy who is like, whatever.
Donald Trump is his fault more than
Donald Trump is his fault. But at the same time, I am pretty confident that James Comey wasn't doing this because of some criminal conspiracy in his head or something. I just think there were bad judgment calls that he made. That's it. Right. I think that, it's nothing more than that.
It was to do the right thing who occasionally screwed up.
Right. He's a bureaucrat to a certain extent, and one of the things that sometimes happens with bureaucrats, and I experienced that, is that sometimes they err so much in the side of caution that they cause more problems than are warranted, because and I'm like, but because sometimes I know that I am one that is a fan, and I've said this many times, that when I do things, I don't want to be just proper. I want to also try to avoid the appearance of impropriety.
Right.
Okay? That means that even if I, talking about this, about hiring or contract practices with people, it's like, I will try to avoid the situation that puts us in what it appears as a conflict of interest. Okay, I will try to avoid those things, and I think that in his, but sometimes some people get in such a zeal for that they actually make things worse, because they're also, as a bureaucrats, unfortunately, many have a tendency to do things just for the purpose of covering their ass, because they don't want to later be said that you didn't do it because you were wrong, even though you already knew and you saw everything 10 times that you knew what it was, and like they're trying to do it just because there's covering their ass. And I think that James Comey fell into that trap, okay, to a certain extent. which is a trap that many bureaucrats are prone into, and that's okay most of the time. It's not a big deal most of the time. It just causes more work, but in this case, it wound up giving us Donald Trump.
Right.
And he probably didn't think he was going to win, like none of us thought he was going to win anyway.
Right. And of course, again, this indictment, they wish they could indict him over Trump, Russia, and Russia, and all that. But this is all they got. Like some really, really weak case on
and it took for nobody. It's so bad that nobody wanted to indict him over this, including Pam Bondi, by the way. Okay,
Pam Bondi had reservations, etc.
Including Pam Bondi, that he had to bring one of his attorneys from his headshot photo book, where he hires frickin' attorneys. Because I realized it's like, Donald Trump just hires from a headshot book.
Yes.
So who looks hot? Oh, this one. Okay, great. That's my new attorney. The fuck is this? Okay, so it's like, I mean, qualifications. Who needs that shit, right? Okay, it brings in this person that from the cursory review of the work she did looks. I mean, I've had attorneys that I mean. I've never seen such shitty work from any attorney I've hired. Okay, ever. That's how shitty an attorney this person is. And they went in there and they signed their name to this thing. Okay, to do it because, by the way, that was one thing that was important, right? Usually they named her district attorney for that district, correct? So usually the indictment would be signed not by that person, but somebody that works for them. Right. And the only reason, what the analysis is like, you know why she wound up signing it? Because nobody else would!
Right.
Nobody else put their name to that damn thing!
And of course, she's never been a prosecutor before. Like, some of the questions are being asked are like, okay, who from her office is actually going to do the work on the case? Is she going to do it all herself too?
Yeah.
And
yeah, well.
We'll see. I mean, one of the things that people have brought up in the commentary on this, and I've heard this from a few different places, but I think resonates as well, is that Donald Trump himself, when he's thinking about this, doesn't think 5 steps ahead. He's not thinking, how will this case play out and will the guy end up in jail? He thinks about that day's headline.
Well, he doesn't. Well, to be fair, in his thinking, he could be thinking the way that he does a lot of his legal cases, which are most of the time lose. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he's just doing it just to inflict pain on the other person.
Exactly. There are 2 things here. One, he's got the headline. He got the headline that Comey was indicted.
Right.
He's been wanting that headline for years and years and years. He got his headline.
Yep.
He's got 90% of what he wants, even if
Basically.
he gets to miss tomorrow. And
he got him indicted.
He got him indicted. He's going to cause him to have to pay lawyers. He's going to cause him heartache. He's going to go down to the courtyard and be fingerprinted and get a mug shot and all that kind of stuff. He's going to be humiliated in the same way Donald is. And that's already most of what he wants. Even if it gets dismissed right away. And
you know how bad this is? The Wall Street Journal editorial board, not exactly one that is, on the left.
Bastion of socialism.
Yeah, not even close. The Comey Trump revenge cycle. It's a historic tragedy. The president. It said here something. It's the Comey Trump revenge cycle. I mean, that's basically what he talks about it. That's the headline. I mean, it's just this is a lot of conservative news media have basically said that they have bashed it. It's not just, I mean, like I said, Colby is not like he's full of friends in liberal circles either. Not like they're welcoming it, but I think universally the bottom line is this thing is just
Well, this is one of the things
Trump's
where-
revenge.
It's clearly Trump's revenge.
Well, let's be clear. One thing that he said today, he said that Combs' indictment isn't about revenge, but look, he fucking, he's such an idiot. I mean, he basically posted that it is revenge on Truth Social just last week.
Yes. Now he meant that to be a DM to Pam, though.
Right,
So,
but we
that doesn't
posted
count.
it to the whole world.
That doesn't count. He didn't mean to.
He didn't mean to. Okay. Well, he did delete it.
He did delete it, which apparently.
So he thinks
is
that. So he thinks that we all forgot about it. It's like kind of like in movie Men in Black. He thinks we got neuralized by
with
just
the
him
little
deleting
thing.
it. Yeah, with a little thing. So now we don't remember anything. Right? It's gone.
Right. And look, and he says there's more coming. Right? We know he wants to go after Tish James. We know he wants to go. He mentioned a whole bunch of people in that thing to Pam Bondi. To Schiff.
Maybe I should look into moving to Asia. Forget about Europe. What the fuck am I doing? Here's one thing, that if I move to Asia,
Yes.
if I move somewhere like Australia, right? Okay, the thing is that because it's day, right, as it's day over here, it's night over there. So I could sleep through the news cycle in the US.
Right.
So I just have my phone, everything, just delete all the alerts in the morning, right? And then as I go through my day, no new alerts will happen.
There you go. Anyway, he's going after apparently he's subpoenaing the one in Georgia. What's her name? I've already forgotten.
Fannie Willis.
Fannie Willis, who by the way, I had not registered. Last week, the Supreme Court of Georgia declined to take up her appeal where she was removed from that case. So the case is officially in complete limbo. Theoretically, some other prosecutor could pick it up, but nobody's going to. So it's
not right now.
There was, I guess, still some limited chance that it would come back, but no. It is an infinitesimally small chance now. I mean, it's not zero, but don't hold your breath on that one. And I guess we still have that case out in Arizona, but I haven't heard any updates on that since Trump became president either. So, maybe they're waiting 4 years for him to leave, and then they'll pick it up again. I don't know, but anyway, shall we move on from Comey?
Yeah, you pick something.
My turn.
Yes.
Now it's my turn to hem and haw. There are a couple. You mentioned the Tylenol stuff. I don't know if there's a lot more to say about it other than RFK's continuing to do whatever.
A fucking idiot. Fuck him. Fuck everything he says.
I mean, the bottom line on all of that is if you actually go to anybody who knows what the hell they're talking about, it's all bullshit. It's all
bullshit. Look, the biggest thing about all the studies what they have said is that here's the main thing, which is why RFK is an idiot. Why do people take Tylenol during a pregnancy? Right, because they hurt or they got a fever or something that happened, correct? So the thing is that they're correlating, this with some activity, whereas in most cases, what could be the reality is that you're taking it as a result of something that is happening to the person.
And people also pointed out that just if you look for other correlations, one of the other things that's correlated with the incidence of autism is older mothers, and as you get older, you just take more painkillers anyway because things are
because you hurt more.
There are all kinds of things here, and just fundamentally the whole let's panic because incident rates are going up. No, diagnoses are going up, you dumbass.
Well, this is the bigger problem because these idiots think that autism is something new, whereas the reality is that It's already been shown that if you take the diagnostic criteria and you take case histories and you go back 100+ years, you realize that the incidence was there. It's just that we were not diagnosing it. Simple as that.
We didn't have the language. We didn't know what to call it. We didn't identify
We
it as
did listen.
such.
Everybody was like retarded, a moron, whatever they called it. Just all these things, and they all got sent to institutions. If the person was not functional, they were institutionalized. That's it. They were sent away. They sent them away.
Right, and the people who were functional, we called goddamn.
They're nerds.
Einstein.
Or nerds.
Yeah.
Geeks.
Exactly. Nerds and geeks.
Us. We will wind up we're the fucking nerds.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a cartoon there are a number of cartoons like this, but one that I remember offhand is it had like this kid and his like dad or somebody, and the dad saying, back in my day there was no such thing as this autism stuff. Now leave me alone so I can play with my train sets. And it's like, no, it's highly genetic, and there's been a huge increase in, first of all, what we even call it, like the diagnosis is a much broader range. Back a couple decades ago, it was only the most severe, most profound cases that would ever be
correct.
That.
Right.
And now, yes, you still have some of those profound cases. You also have you and me, and plenty of people that at it. It's insulting. It's stupid. It's going to cause more harm. I mean, like it's pointed out, simply telling people to avoid Tylenol is going to cause more harm to both mothers and babies, simply because they don't take care of it when they have a fever.
Oh, totally. That's probably gonna cause even worse things to the mothers and the child. Those fucking idiots.
So, okay, we had Tylenol. You also mentioned in passing Jimmy Kimmel coming back. The one thing I'll say about this, you mentioned this as the potential good news. It wasn't something that the Trump administration did, but it was a successful walk back. There was pressure put on over this. I mean,
yeah.
Like you said, some conservatives were even saying Comey was a line too far. Even more were saying Kimmel was a line too far. You had Ted Cruz coming out and saying,
Ted Cruz, fucking Tucker Carlson,
right? Saying, this is inappropriate. We should not be doing this. This is gonna, I mean. Sometimes it was couched in, this will come back and hurt us when the liberals are in charge again, because they'll do it to us.
Well, they're right.
But even aside from that, it's like there was a massive pressure campaign put out. There was the whole like people going out and saying they're canceling Disney Plus and canceling other Disney services and things.
Listen, Kimmel did a great job. Listen, Kimmel did a great job. I watched it. Okay, he actually did a very good job that day.
Clips. I didn't
I watched it on YouTube. It's like whatever. He did a really good job. Okay, by the way, of talking through it.
Episode on YouTube, and
but he
here in a few seconds.
But look, I watched the whole thing because I started watching it and I got into it because one of the things about it is that
audio again. What the hell?
Hello?
Unplug. Plug. Okay.
Hello?
Got you back. I'm back. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Repeat.
Well, the thing, in the monologue, as Kimmel went along, I just, look, he was very emotional. Okay, all right, about it. He was very emotional because a lot of people gave him a lot of support and he did explain, by the way, that the dialogue with the company wasn't like, he was very gracious. And I do think that he did a really good job of also eviscerating Trump and his and Brendan Carr and his idiots for it, so he didn't go easy on them. And no, he did a really good job that day of talking about it. The one thing I found hilarious was, yes, Disney did place a condition on me, and he pulled out this piece of paper, and the piece of paper was,
How to reactivate your account.
in order to reactivate your subscription, please go to your Disney Plus app and press over here. He actually heard the instructions in order to reactivate your subs. That was hilarious. I fucking liked the floor laughing with that one. Which, by the way, I did. Okay.
You reactivated whatever.
I re-upped it. Yes. Hey, they did it. I mean, what the hell? I think, okay, it's fair. They did actually listen. A lot of places don't.
Canceled some ESPN thing, right?
I canceled this bundle that included ESPN Plus and Hulu, yes. And so it's two things that we do watch, okay? So, and it was like, basically, I was like hitting myself in the balls with a hammer because I'm the one that watched pretty much both of those, okay? Manu is the one that watches Disney Plus, which is why I didn't cancel the Disney Plus one for him, because I was just like, whatever. But, I also did write an email to Bob Iger calling him a pussy.
Okay.
Basically,
I'm sure.
I said you're. Well, I didn't say it exactly in those words. I was a little bit more. I basically said, "I'm sorry. You are the CEO of the multi-billion-dollar company. Why are you letting these people basically let the tail wag the dog?" And by the way, which is finally what they did with Sinclair and the other people that took the show off the air. They basically went back to them and said, hey, you got an affiliate contract now. You put the damn show back on the air, or you know what? You're going to have consequences. And here's a reality. They need ABC content more than they need those damn stations.
Right.
So,
this is a lesson, by the way, that applies more generally. Like, the folks who have stood up have generally won. When the New York Times fought back, they won. Harvard fights back, they win.
They won.
The law firms that did not capitulate.
The law firms that didn't sign their capitulation, they all won. All of them.
Whereas all of the folks who ended up being like, oh, yes, let's go along to get along, let's do whatever, most of them are getting...
Hello?
No more under the desk when you're here. Okay. Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. I think Alex knocked the Ethernet to the whole house out. I plugged it back in.
Oh, that's nice. That's always helpful, yes.
Under the desk where he was sitting.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let me note that. Okay, we're back though. Okay, sorry, I missed probably the last 15 seconds of whatever you were saying.
You were speaking.
I was saying that all the folks who fight win. All the folks who have capitulated and tried to get along and whatever, most of them end up being screwed in the end. Maybe some not immediately, but in the end, you are basically...
You're better off fighting than submitting yourself to this bullshit.
Now, I mean, maybe it's not universal. I mean, like, we've talked about the advantages, like, Apple gave him a handful of, like, token things, and they got away from...
But you see, the thing is, but look at those are different moves. You see, because the thing is, he wasn't really demanding... It wasn't like one of these like demands like this, right? What was it? He went and they're like, hey, he's doing these trade actions that are hurting us, right? Why don't I go with a little orb and a gift and like make him look good, okay? Because he likes the orbs, okay, for whatever the hell reason. And then that way he won't bother us, okay? So they went and they proactively kind of like just it wasn't the capitulation to like when he's coming to you.
Even when they have sort of capitulated to theoretical demands, a lot of folks have been smart on that and sort of agreed to do things they were already doing.
Exactly, or shit like that. You gotta
think it's a win, but really you haven't changed a damn thing.
Right, exactly. So stuff like that. There are certain maneuvers, but when he comes in a direct attack like that, like what happened to Harvard or these, the problem is that you can't just roll over, because bullies, when you roll over, they'll come back and bully you again and again and again. That's what they do. That's the way it works.
Right.
So anyway,
speaking of bullies. Next item. The Russians have been sending drones and fighter planes all over Eastern Europe. Well, not even just Eastern Europe, Northern Europe too. What do we think? Oh, and near Alaska as well, by the way. Although they haven't actually gone into U.S. airspace.
Well, what I heard is that the last message that the Europeans sent to Putin was, send another one of these fuckers and we're going to start shooting them down.
Yes.
That was basically the last message. You want to keep at this? We're going to start shooting these down. And now, all of a sudden they stopped after they said that.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe they're just gearing up for it. But I mean, I think it was a test. And
yeah,
and at first it was looking like they're not doing jack. But like you said, at a certain point, they were like, no more. Donald really sort of kept out of it. It's like, it's up to Europeans, do it, whatever. He did.
Donald went to the UN this week and went and did a complete 180 on everything. I mean, what the hell? Well, the statement that he issued. Well, I know it's the usual like. Donald meets with with somebody, and then the next thing he says is whatever the hell he talked to this guy. He said that Ukraine could take back all. He believes that Ukraine could go and reclaim back all their land.
Donald meets with the usual. Sorry, that's the last thing I heard.
Well, Donald does the usual that he will give the talking points to the last person that he met. Okay? And so he met with Zelensky, and then all of a sudden, hey, Ukraine can get back all their land. Whatever. Basically, the way. Let me see. The one head. I'm trying to find a headline. There's this one. I'm not sure from what news source this is, but it said, "Massive change in Trump's stance on Russia emerging. Trump calling Russia a paper tiger and proclaiming that Ukraine can win are just some indicators of a big policy shift." I don't think that is. That's what it sounds like. But it's really just him, parroting the talking points of the last meeting, and that
with a couple of important exceptions, that he did both in terms of the airspace incursions and with this. He said he thought Ukraine could push back the borders with the help of the EU.
With the help of the EU, yes.
Not the help of the
Not the U.S.
He
right.
is not offering for the U.S. to do any more.
But he was basically bailing out, but at the same time, he wasn't saying that Ukraine should accept a peace where it was like right now, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, so. I mean, it's definitely a change. But again, I wonder, will it last a week? 2 weeks? When's next call with Putin?
When's the next meeting with Putin? Yes. I mean, that is the thing, right? What is the next call with Putin? Then all of a sudden, we're back at... Yeah. That is a problem. Yes. I don't know. I mean...
But, since we're lightning rounding this, essentially, this will all be solved because Hegseth has called all the generals to Quantico.
Oh, fuck this asshole. Jesus Christ. Apparently, I saw a headline in the Washington Post talking about this. Basically, it's new details emerge on Hegseth's unusual mass gathering of top troops. What is expected to be a short lecture on the warrior ethos. Listen, this stupid motherfucker who has he even served in the military?
I think he did. Yes, actually. He was in
did he?
Something reserves.
Like
whatever.
what? Like the reserves. That's what he did.
Let's see. He does have some.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
We're both looking it up. We're both looking it up.
I'm looking it up because I don't know.
Army National Guard.
He's a fucking National Guardsman? No, he said U.S. Army and then Army National Guard. So let's see. Okay. I guess he was a major. Okay, so I guess he did. Okay, I didn't realize that he actually was in the
2003 through 2021 with a couple gaps. He did a variety of stuff. Yes. So yes.
Okay, all right, but this guy, Mr. I fucking
in Iraq.
This is such horseshit.
Well, there was speculation at first that, he's bringing them all in for a loyalty test, whatever, or this is preparation for a coup, or all kinds of things. It seems like, who knows what will happen, but it seems like it's much stupider. Although he is still exercising the actual, you all have to come from wherever in the world, be here in person. So he's exercising sort of that power over all the generals. As sort of, again, one of these testosterone things, I guess.
All these guys and fucking testosterone, I swear to God, Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, he's such a loser.
People have pointed out, there are a couple things here. One, of course, national security concern having all these people at the same place at the same time. It's like the entire leadership of the U.S. military physically located.
How could that be a fucking problem?
Second, and by the way, apparently just travel back and forth for all of these people for the half-hour meeting he's planning or whatever, something like $22 million. Between
I would say, yeah, because I've done. Let's see. How many people are coming into the meeting? Do we know?
Well, there are 800 actual generals, plus they're bringing members of their staff as well. Some of them can take.
Yeah,
some of them are taking last-minute commercials. Some of them are taking military flights, which are even more expensive. So we're talking millions of dollars. And someone also pointed out that the timing coincides with another topic we'll have in a couple minutes, the possible government shutdown, which, if it happens, would strand a lot of them and a lot of them wouldn't be able to get back easily. Because their funding for travel would be cut when they need to go back to wherever they're actually.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
Oh, well.
We'll see what happens with that.
Well, that's one thing we didn't put on our topics. Sam, we're going to get a shutdown. We are going to get a shutdown. And the reason we're going to get a shutdown, I think, goes to the one thing it reminded me is Elon Musk going to these data centers and Twitter after he took over, and him just pulling cables to see. Oh, you see, nothing broke until all of a sudden shit broke.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing. Trump is in this active mode right now with a lot of the things that he's doing, including this, to see at what point is he going to break something. Now, the problem is, of course, with a lot of these things, is that when it starts breaking, because of how, how aggressive the actions he is doing, it will start breaking majorly.
Well, look, there's lots that's broken already, right? But they've pre-announced that instead of furloughing people, they're just going to straight up lay off people with no intention of bringing them back once we are into.
Well, they're thinking that. Well, they're saying that no, they're saying that's the threat. Like right now, that's what they want to do.
Meanwhile, this week they announced they were bringing back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that were laid off by Doge earlier in the year because they realized they actually need them.
Yeah, well,
I mean, so yeah, we're gonna have a shutdown, and this is one of the things, by the way, that Schumer said was one of his reasons for saving the Republicans from the shutdown earlier in the year, was that he was afraid they would take advantage of it to just shut down even more than they had to. It was giving the Republicans more leverage to more easily shut down parts of the government they don't agree with. They've been doing that anyway, but it will give them...
Right, I don't understand what leverage. What are you talking about? He's doing everything he wants like right now anyway. Fuck that shit. Might as well just, listen. Again, it's what we talked about earlier. You don't give in. You don't fucking give in. Fuck this shit.
Even if you lose in the end, you gotta fight.
Yeah.
You got to show that you care about it, that you stand by your principles, etc. And I think this time, at least initially, who knows what things will look like if we have a shutdown that drags out a while. But Schumer seems to be a little bit more along the lines of we're going to let this happen. We're not going to bail them out, or we're going to have to...
I mean, you can't. Right. And you know what? Schumer has... Listen, I'm pretty sure that Schumer and Jeffries already at this point have heard pretty loudly from their constituents. Pretty loudly.
Yeah.
About how pissed off they have been at their being just not aggressive enough.
Right. Although even that, then on the Sunday shows this last weekend, when they were asked about, well, we're going to demand XYZ of the Trump administration in order to get our support to do this. And they rattled off a list of things that they want, and things that Trump has said, no way in hell, fuck you. But
well,
but the interviewer asked them, well, okay, but if Trump doesn't give you that, then what? Do you stand by this and let the government be shut down indefinitely? And they hemmed and hawed. They did not have an aggressive answer to that. They did not say, we will hold the line until Donald Trump gives in, or anything like that.
I will say this. Here's one thing that I will say that Trump caves before anybody else. Because Trump
usually does. Taco.
Because he usually... Yeah, it's taco. So I think Trump caves before anybody else. So, by the way, something else we hadn't mentioned. Elon Musk and Prince Andrew named the new Epstein files. How about that?
Oh, well, we knew about Andrew.
Yeah, but Elon. There you go.
Elon. Well,
good old Elon.
And to be clear, the thing that was mentioned was he was supposed to go to the island, and someone has a little note, is this still on? So it's not actually like proof Elon did anything. But yes, of course.
But was planning on it!
He was planning on it. And look, Kara Fisher, what's her name?
Swisher?
Swisher, not Fisher. Kara Swisher.
Fisher.
Commented on Blue Sky, I think, about this. Look, this is just the reality. All of those Silicon Valley folks were being wooed by Epstein. He was trying to get into their good graces. He was flying them to the island. It's like all over Silicon Valley. Like, because who else was mentioned? It wasn't just Prince Andrew. It was Peter Thiel was in the release today. Bannon was on the release today.
Bannon is on the list.
Yes, Steve Bannon was on the list. So drip, drip, drip on the Epstein stuff. You know. Oh, and Donald Trump was quoted. There was a report leaked. This is not on tape or anything, but leaked where Donald Trump was getting increasingly upset about all the Epstein stuff, and said to people around him, "Look, people don't understand how different it was in Palm Beach in the '90s." And so, of course, the
Listen.
was, please explain exactly what was different.
What you mean?
Yes.
Look, let me tell you something. I don't know what the fuck he's still talking about. I lived out here in South Florida since the late 90s, okay? I'm sorry, but yes, there was a lot more cocaine and booze parties, you know, whatever. This thing that he's talking about banging, like, having, like, sexual prisoners, basically sex trafficking underage girls, that was not normal!
You weren't invited to those parties? Is that what you're telling me, Ivan?
I was not invited to those parties, no. I was invited to other parties where other interesting stuff happened, but I can assure you that the women were of age.
Okay. You were checking.
The women I met were definitely well above age. Probably some even older than I was at that time.
Okay, very good. Yes, so we had that. I'm clicking off the list. We got Kimmel, we got Tylenol. Harris's book is out.
Oh, fuck Harris's book. Whatever. I don't care. You know what? I'm like, I heard a couple of things about it. I'm just like, why the fuck? I don't even want this book. I'm just fucking burned the fucking book. Burned her book. Burned all these fucking books. I'm so done with them.
I can see that. And it's like, so someone asked, like, why would you do this book right now? How is that helpful to the future? And someone answered, look, the easy answer to why, someone put
money.
A big ass pile of money in front of her to do the book. Okay. Let's not overthink it, okay.
I get it, but but it's just, the book is just, a couple of the comments I heard, which one was about Biden and one was about Buttigieg, and I was just like, oh fuck, just burn this fucking book. Just take them all, put them all in a shredder, or just whatever.
I think it's interesting getting the insights. I think it's still like, it's all about missed opportunities. I think, like, there's so many places where I know you sometimes disagree on this, and we disagree. I think she could have won if she'd made a couple of choices differently.
I agree, but at the same time,
it's like,
I think it's possible, but look, man,
it was so close. It was so close in the end. Anyway, then we talked Trump about the UN. We talked about Russia. We talked about Hegseth. We talked about Comey. There are two more things, and then we'll wrap it up. Trump did an executive order on domestic terrorism that was talking about Antifa and stuff like that, but basically worded everything widely enough that basically anyone who disagrees with Donald Trump could be interpreted as a domestic terrorist. Now, as with many of his executive orders, it's unclear how much, if anything, is real based on it, and what's legal and what's not, and things will go to court. But, in many cases, it has the effect anyway, even if in the end it's determined to be an overreach of power. And the Supreme Court likes a lot of this stuff at this point. So who knows? But it's all very, I talked last week.
It's so broad. It's just ridiculous. I'm just like, whatever.
All
I mean,
dangerous.
declared Antifa a terrorist organization. Great. Well, go and close their bank accounts and send a notice to their headquarters. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's all just dangerous, slippery slope stuff, though, and it's all tied into
It's just
Donald
another
Trump
one of these fucking...
pushing limits
Yeah.
as quickly as he can. And finally, new tariffs. You mentioned trucks, but there's also furniture.
There was
also...
bathroom vanities, pharmaceuticals. Now he's doing a whole bunch of these tariffs using another authority, which he believes is which they believe is more difficult to be legally challenged. But I think a whole bunch of those are still going to be legally challenged anyway. They just haven't been at this point. But it's just it's like I said. He's just pulling cables from the back room to see until he can fucking, like, really, break something. And until something really breaks something and a fire alarm starts going off and shit starts, the shitstorm starts, then he won't stop doing it.
Well, and the problem with that approach in terms of this that's different than pulling out cables and servers is that you don't, if you're waiting for the cliff where everything gets completely destroyed in one moment. First of all, that'll be really dramatic when it does happen. But before then, you've just got this degradation that's happening the whole time. Where it's not the same.
It is a degradation. Look, today, Sam, I went, you remember, I think I mentioned about the coffee I buy?
Yeah.
Normally. I went to buy some more coffee today.
Yes.
It's double the price right
Again,
now of what I used to pay.
Before already.
Yeah, it was up 50%. Now it's double.
Okay.
It's double the price.
Yes.
I mean, and look, I can afford, a $22 bag of coffee that used to be $11 or $12. Okay, fine. I ordered more. But, we've got people that are... Listen, CarMax went and announced that sales in people that have lower incomes buy used cars. That's just the reality, okay? And CarMax sales dropped off a cliff in August, okay? 20%. There's a massive drop off, and they keep being all these signs all over the place of these things. It's people talking about food prices being screwed, a number of places reporting lower demand. It's just there's just all these. You don't have one big massive thing, but there are just all these warning lights are flashing in different places. Okay, and you've got them. It's crazy. On one side, they talk about how the economy's great, but then they must be freaking out because then they got this guy, whatever, that they put on the Federal Reserve saying that we need to act right now before the economy crashes. So which one is it, motherfuckers? Okay? I mean, can you explain to me which one it is? Because I'm not sure. Here, one side, it's great. All this is working the planets, all is awesome. And then on the other side, you guys fed, cut, because everything's going to hell.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, with the gradual, spread out over the course of 4 years, getting worse and worse and worse over the course of 4 years, it's harder to identify, that moment. We've talked on the show numerous times about, the problem with delayed effects, where people, don't tie the bad thing they're experiencing to the decision that some politician made 3 years previously.
Right.
So you have all sorts of those problems. But the way they're going, at some point they are going to hit one of these things where it's just things go downhill really fast at some point, and then it's going to be, the recovery is going to be so long and so painful because it's so bad. I mean, I've crossed my fingers that doesn't happen, but they're doing everything is the high.
They're doing everything possible to fuck up the economy. I mean, it's they're literally doing everything possible to fuck up this economy.
But Yvonne, we're making so much income off the tariffs, and we're going to bring all that manufacturing back to the U.S. It's going to revitalize everything after a little bit of pain.
I don't know if you read the article that the New York Times did interviewing the guys that got deported to Korea from the Hyundai factory.
Yes, I did. I passed it along.
Yeah,
to
you
the
think
first
you think they want to come and invest in this country and further construction? How you know how motivated are they to continue investing in the U.S.?
Not. I mean,
Yeah.
like the there's been much reporting about how the Korean specific, not just those individual Koreans, but the Korean government, Korean industry in general, are like, hold up, pause. We have to completely rethink everything we were doing. You know, the U.S.
It's
is
so
not a
ridiculous.
safe place to go right now.
To invest and for us to go and send our people and invest. It isn't.
Right? And they're not the only ones. Obviously.
No.
I mean, oh, did we even mention the $100,000 H-1B thing? You know?
Oh God, didn't mention that one.
I think I may have mentioned it in passing last week. I'm not sure, but yeah. Again, like this is Trump's whole idea is, you know, he doesn't want the international investment in the end. I mean, he backtracked a little bit on the Koreans. He was trying to the administration was like, wait.
Oh, he was trying to right now, but it's like one of those things. After you did that they don't want to do it.
Right. Well, and
the trust has been broken.
The trust has been broken, but fundamentally, in the end, you know, he may be temporarily trying to backtrack on that, but he doesn't want Koreans here.
No,
he doesn't want anybody here. But you know, and you know, again, you know, he imports all kinds of Eastern European wives. He has no problem with Eastern Europeans. You know, and to deny it is fundamentally racist is at this point is insane. It is a white nationalist, white Christian nationalist view of what the country should be, and that everybody else shouldn't be a real citizen, shouldn't be here at all. If they are here, they should be, you know, second class, and clearly so by law, you know?
Right.
And that's where all this comes from. And yeah. I think we're...
All right, let's wrap this up. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay. You guys all know curmudgeons-corner.com. Oh, we haven't talked about TikTok, the TikTok deal. I realize there's some reasons why you might not be able to, but there, anyway.
I'm not talking about the TikTok deal.
Yeah. Anyway, it's still not officially confirmed in all the places that need to confirm it, specifically China. But anyway, curmudgeons-corner.com. You can find our archives. You can find our transcripts of old shows, all the ways to contact us, all the fun stuff. I actually watched somebody at that podcast event try to go from curmudgeons-corner.com and figure out how to subscribe from there, and they had difficulty. I did it for them, but you know, I have to re-examine the link to iTunes and stuff like that. They just got really confused. So at some point I may have to re-examine how all that works to make it easier. But and maybe add a couple more services. I don't know, because we're on all of them, but I only include links to a couple. But anyway, you can find out how to subscribe. You can if you can figure out the icons and click on the right things, and if they actually work, because you know, I set those stupid links up 10 plus years ago. I haven't checked them lately. You know, but you could just look up Curmudgeon's Corner in any podcast player. Of course, if you're listening to this, you probably already know this. Anyway, all of our stuff, and importantly, you will find a link to our Patreon where you can give us money at various elements, at various levels. We will mention you on the show. We will ring a bell. We will send you a postcard. We will send you a mug. And importantly, at $2 a month or more, or if you just ask us, we will invite you to the Curmudgeon's Corner Slack, where Yvonne and I and a whole bunch of other people are chatting throughout the week. And Yvonne, what is a highlight from the Curmudgeon's Corner Slack that would make people want to join that we have not talked about on the show?
Well, this is something that you shared, okay?
Oh no, which one?
911 caller thought a coconut was an explosive device, police say. Police in Washington State said a park goer called 911 to report a potential explosive device, but it turned out to be a coconut. The Mukilteo Police Department said a 911 caller...
Yvonne.
What?
It's Mukilteo.
Mukilteo, okay, police department said a 911 caller on Tuesday. All these fucked up names, places around you, God's sakes. Anyway,
are
give
you
me some Spanish
Native
name.
Americans?
God, no. I love Native Americans. Okay, good, great people. Said a 911 caller on Tuesday, Mukilteo. Caller on Tuesday reported finding a coconut in Lighthouse Park that appeared to have a drilled hole, a fuse, and black powder inside. Officers temporarily closed the park and boat launch, which sits on Puget Sound, north of Seattle, to investigate. Officials ultimately determined the coconut was not an explosive device. The park and boat launch were quickly reopened.
It's not Puget.
Okay.
Puget.
Fuck. Why is it not? Anyway. All right, Puget Sound. The hell. We would like to thank the public again for their patience and not, as we know, it caused some inconvenience. We treat these incidents with utmost caution and always prioritize the safety of the public. I'm guessing this must have been some kind of one of these, like, toy things or something. I mean, they were, like,
coconut.
doing something. It's a coconut.
It was a coconut.
It's just a coconut. It's not an explosive device.
I've been to this park. Within the last couple of months. It's a nice park. It's got a lighthouse. It's where the ferry comes in as well. It goes across to the islands and stuff like that.
And you didn't leave
and
any coconuts there.
I did.
You didn't leave any coconuts there.
I did not leave.
Okay.
They didn't even.
And then the coconuts are not native. They must have floated there, right? There's not palm trees around there. Coconuts are not native there, right?
Somebody must have brought a coconut from a grocery store or something.
Well, one thing, coconuts can float long distances. Okay,
That's
and they
true,
do arrive at
but-
certain odd places.
No,
so you could get on a shore.
It was unclear from the article to me, like, was the guy who reported it wrong? Or did somebody actually take a real coconut, drill a hole in it, add something that looked like a fuse? Did they try
to make it look? Yeah, they did clarify that. But
even so, like, Brandy pointed this out when I read the article. It's like they made it into one of those. If they did make it to try to look like quote unquote a bomb, it was one of those cartoon bombs. Like the little. That's
what I'm saying. It looks like one of those, exactly, the cartoon style bomb. I guess he thought that those were real from the cartoons.
Well, I presume the cartoon bombs were based on something that was real in the 30s or 40s or something, like that actually.
Well, if you remember correctly, back the old cannonballs with a thing on them, it exploded, kind of looked like that. Yeah, so
Although most cannonballs were just a bomb. I mean, not a bomb. Were just a ball.
No, they were just a ball. Yes, but there were like cannonballs that were kind of, if I remember, were explosive as well.
I'm sure they were explosive ones as well.
Yeah, it's called a round shot.
It's called a round shot. It looks
like.
Okay.
Let me see. Simply ball. No, this is the ball, which is a cannonball. Let me see. There's the hold on. Exploding cannonball.
Yeah, as we all Google things that'll get us on FBI watch lists. How do you make an old-fashioned round bomb?
I guess no. Those were just in movies. Contrary to Hollywood films and popular lore, cannonballs did not explode on contact. Percussion fuses were not used in spherical projectiles. These shells in spherical case shot were designed to explode only when a flame reached their interior charged.
Okay.
Wait, but it does say okay.
Article
Yeah,
from
yeah,
2016 from Atlas Obscura. Why we
yeah,
picture
yeah, yeah.
bombs as round black balls with a burning wick. In
Uh-huh,
19
uh-huh.
it, so I'm reading from it. In 1920, the popular newspaper comic strip Jerry on the Job was adapted by Bray Studios into a few animated films. In The Bomb Idea, Jerry and another character read that Bolsheviki, like Bolshevik, are on the loose throughout the country, and that all citizens should be on alert. Shortly after, a man arrives carrying a heavy black sphere. Jerry and his friend panic, assuming the item is a bomb, when eventually it is revealed to just be a bowling ball. But it's clear that by 1920, everybody knew what a bomb looked like. Except by 1920, bombs didn't really look like that anymore. They hadn't for nearly 50 years as nitroglycerin and dynamite began replacing black powder as the explosive of choice. However, the black spherical bomb, wick burning slowly away to a boom, has remained the understood image for an explosive from Looney Tunes to Adam West's Batman to jokes on Homestar Runner. This is what our bombs look like. They cartoon blah 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 blah. But there's a diagram that of a bomb that looks like that in an 18th century French mortar bomb. Cartoons always relied on visual shorthand. Bombs actually did look like that for a while. According to Jack Kelly, historian and author of Gunpowder, Alchemy, Bombards, and Pyrotechnics, those bombs were specifically mortar bombs that used gunpowder, now referred to as black powder, as an explosive. The Civil War was the last great gunpowder war. Unignited, uncontained gunpowder will burn, but for it to explode, the gas pressure needed to be built up within a sealed container. Often a spherical one made the most sense, since the shape was aerodynamic and could be made of two halves with one seal instead of a box.
There were bombs that were round with a little wick. Okay.
And there were mortars, so that often they were shot out of cannon-like devices.
Okay. So there you go. Okay. All right.
So
good.
Look on Atlas Obscura. I read a couple little bits of it, but the article is much longer and gives more detail. So there you go. Okay. I think we're done, Yvonne.
We're done.
So thanks everybody for joining us yet again. Please tune in next week. I haven't said this in a while, but tell your friends. Tell your friends. I don't know. Review us any place that reviews podcasts. Do people do that anymore? I don't know. Whatever. Stay safe. Have a great week. We'll be back next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, later, Yvonne. I'm hitting stop.
Bye.